this is going to be the best stage playoffs we've ever had in Overwatch League.
The NYXL, they want to finish this right now.
Vancouver Titans going back to the stage finals.
The spark will not be stopped.
Houston continues their tear through stage 3.
San Francisco Shock
Looking to repeat.
Dynasty. They make me look like a fool. And the Shanghai Dragons, they are going to the stage 3 playoffs. The Los Angeles Valiant are the first team to deliver a loss to the Vancouver Titans in the regular season. Welcome to the Overwatch League. Say goodnight.
Hey there, everybody. We're back, Overwatch fans. This is day 2 of the Stage 3 playoffs, and we are live in Los Angeles, where 2 more teams will punch their tickets to the semifinals today. The Seoul Dynasty are hoping to be one of those teams. Seoul is making their second stage playoff appearance after upsetting New York in Stage 1. Today, they'll try to take down the San Francisco Shock. San Francisco is back for their 3rd straight playoffs and looking to defend the championship they won in Stage 2. These 2 teams will take the stage for battle in just about 30 minutes. Welcome to the Watchpoint pre-show presented by State Farm. I'm Malik Forte, joined as always by illustrious host, or analyst rather, Zoe, Brent, and Sideshow. Guys, day 2 is about to go down. I'm so hyped.
I'm so excited. I can't even keep myself still.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be such a great game,
like
a day of Overwatch.
No need to turn down, man.
So how upset are you going to be if the Valiant are not going to take this one?
I don't care. I actually don't care.
That's
Like,
so
any
not
team
true.
could
You've
win.
been talking about nothing but that all day.
I was looking at these matches though, and I was thinking, is this really just the quarters? It feels like these matches could be semi-finals.
Yeah,
For real.
Like
some
it's
of these
actually
games could
legit
even be
thing.
finals.
Yeah.
So this was so good about these stage playoffs, man. We already had upsets yesterday, and today is going to be crazy because we're shooting for the moon on the pre-show today. We'll hear from the Shock superstars, Moth and Super, about how they hope to people underestimating them after the 2 losses to stage and why that's a big mistake. Plus, we'll take a fun and fascinating look at the Los Angeles Valiant's resurgent Stage 3 in our latest installment of Comms Check. And we've got some debates to settle, and we'll do it the only way we know how. Watchpoint's Attack or Defend returns. Here's a look at our Stage 3 playoff bracket. Shanghai shook things up by knocking off the #1 seeded NYXL yesterday. Today, we'll settle the other 2 quarterfinals with the 6-seeded Valiant taking on the 3-seed, the Hangzhou Spark. And we'll kick things off with the Seoul Dynasty versus the San Francisco Shock. Both of these teams went 5-2 this stage. The Shock had a better map differential by 3, so they get the better seeding. The Shock swept Seoul back in week 2, but the Dynasty have won 3 of all 5 meetings that they've had all time between the 2 teams. But the Shock are the defending stage champions, Sideshow, so how can they begin their title defense today?
Well, the title defense begins by shoring up any weaknesses that they've shown throughout Stage 3.
Yeah.
One of those has been against Sombra. We've seen it, kind of Sombra redefine the meta in Stage 3. The 2 guys on the San Francisco Shock that I think are most important, obviously it's a team effort, but the people who are most important at dealing with Sombra are Rascal and Moth. Moth in particular, actually. They run this Batiste style. They love to run it. Now, in general, their statistics go down against Sombra, but that's the case for almost everybody. It's difficult as a backline to play against Sombras. They're sneaky. They're invisible. They're everywhere. They hack you, the MP, it's hard. But when they played against Outlaws in particular, Moth had a poor day.
Right.
Ended up with a loss there. He needs to be on his A game, and the Batiste needs to be almost perfect if they want to pull out a win, should Seoul decide to opt into the Sombra today.
Well, in this matchup, individually, I think as well, Shock do have the advantage. But if Seoul are to take it today, I think you need to be looking as well at the Sombra gameplay, as you've already pointed out, Sideshow. The question is, are they going to be adapting? But which Sombra player are you going to be running on Seoul right now? Because they've got 2 that they like to sort of flex in and out. Recently, it's been mainly Fitz. You can see the playtime at the bottom, been playing a lot more. So statistically, obviously, it's going to be doing a lot worse. But Michelle, we've seen him flex over to it. And he hasn't been awful in the past. And it does allow them a lot more flexibility when they run Michelle in that role. So I'm going to be interested to see what they do today in terms of running that. Because, I mean, again, at the end of the day, they can't exactly be swapping out a big roster moves like they were before, because Fisher's also not in the lineup.
Now, with the majority of the teams opting for a little bit different team compositions, we saw a severe lack of diva players on each of those teams. So that kind of caused a lot of teams to play more Ana. The only team which hasn't really done that was the Shock. Violet, in fact, has the lowest Ana play rate in the entirety of the team. 0.8% Ana usage for the San Francisco Shock. 43.3% is the league average, so that's quite the difference.
Yeah.
They obviously still make it work. However, Violet on his Sen does have the second highest death rate. Comes as no surprise, of course, the first highest death rate on the San Francisco Shock will be Super. I'm not actually making it up, that's real. It's not on this list, it's not here, but you know, I just throwing it out there.
We're pulling out the super bars stat again.
No, and I'm just being factual, all right? I can back this up with numbers that are not on your screen. And unfortunately for them, they are doing pretty darn bad whenever they do lose Violet. So they have a 14.3% team fight win rate after Violet dies first. So one of the keys to take them out will be taking Violet out. Go into the backline. And of course, having a good Sombra will enable you to do just that.
Indeed, indeed. That is a huge point that you made right there. And two reasons the Shock are able to win short-handed fights are having one of the best main tanks and one of the best main supports in the league in Super and Moth. The two San Francisco Beasts sat down with us to explain why their Stage 3 losses haven't slowed them down one bit.
They have punched their ticket to the Stage 3 playoffs.
This stage isn't the same as last stage, so for us, making stage playoffs is about like how hard we've worked to adapt to new metas, playing against different types of teams.
The Houston Outlaws defeat the San Francisco Shock. And the Hunters, they will be the second team to take down the Shock.
A lot of people think that, oh, you know, we're worse than we were before and we're not as good as we were when we won Stage 2, but I just think that when we lost those 2 games to Outlaws and Hunters, we just didn't play that well. Like, we played pretty poorly. I mean, we still think we're the best, and we're still gonna show everyone that we're the best, so.
I don't think we're gonna let losses like that affect us when we go into the playoffs.
The Vancouver Titans, your Stage 1 champions. And the Shock have done it. They are your Stage 2 champions.
When we lost the Stage 1 final, it was because we couldn't adapt to Vancouver's changing style on the fly, but we fixed that and won the Stage 2 final. We'll just do the same thing. We can adapt really well, and we'll do the same thing for this meta.
And what a rivalry is building between these two teams right now.
I think it'd be like a, you know, the third part in the trilogy against the, what was the third Star Wars movie trilogy?
Or
the third movie in the original.
New Hope.
I don't know if you can make that against Titan. Yeah, the point is, let's play the Titans again in the finals. That's the be-all, end-all of that discussion.
Oh man, Super struggling with his Star Wars reference there. But he's far from struggling on Reinhardt. No super bad stats here. He's top 3 in several major categories for the season. His ranks have slipped a bit since a little back in Stage 3. But Sideshow, what might be the reason that we've kind of seen his, gameplay decline a little bit?
Well, I think this is the hardest stage and the meta that we've ever seen for main tanks. Either your support staff or yourself are getting hacked. You have to worry about that. You have to be turning your shield to try and block it. All of the other teams have started stepping up in that sense as well. But I think the important thing to look at here about everything we've said is that if Soul decide to just take a Goats v Goats matchup, Super stats are going to be way back up to where they were before, and he's going to start crushing fools.
Right.
So I think the general sentiment between us is it's probably going to be on Soul to adapt to what Shock are bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Start throwing that Sombra in.
Yeah, keep their little streak of versatility going. I see what you're saying, man. Well, before we move on, I don't want to believe that Super is not a man of culture. So let's check back in with Super and Moth to see if they got that Star Wars episodes reference straight yet.
Return of the Jedi was the
Was that the third one?
of the original.
Oh, Return of the Jedi. You said A New Hope was the first one in the original trilogy. I said it was the third one in the original trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said the first.
Point is,
okay.
Vancouver. Final answer. Lock it in.
Oh, man. Well, whether it's about Star Wars or in the height of an intense match, it's always fun to get an insight look at how the players communicate. When we return, we'll take a look and a listen to the comms of the Valiant's comeback stage. That's next on Watchpoint.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
after starting 0-8, it's actually pretty surprising to see the Valiant in any type of playoffs this season. But as they showed us in Stage 3, you can never count out anyone in the Overwatch League. Here's a fun look at the Valiant's return to glory in our latest comms check.
The Los Angeles Valiant surprised everyone by going winless in Stage 1.
The Valiant are a shadow of their former self, and that's tragic.
A lot of work ahead of them on the Valiant side.
Something's got to give.
These guys have no idea. Just stay calm and do your job.
Deep breaths, let's go.
We'll see how the Valiant come out looking today and whether they can duplicate their previous performance up against Chengdu.
We have rally advantage and we have shatter. Let's just go for rally bash shatter here, okay?
That's a 4-man shatter from backfishing. I think he was tired of having that low team fight win rate percentage.
God, these kids are lost.
LA Valiant looking really good.
Slow down, the MVP. Focus point.
Ooh, the self-destruct catches Keo.
Ryan pitting. Nice, guys. See you guys.
The LA Valiant, for the first time in 2019, get the 4-0.
Boys, this is my first time walking across the stage and saying GG's. You've never
Really?
won a match? No.
Let's go. We're about to get into the Shanghai Dragons versus Los Angeles Valiant.
Almost a brand new Valiant lineup here, and they're playing like a new team.
I'm ready to popping up. I'm ready to popping up too. Nepal to kick things off.
Everyone stay calm. We're playing a new comp. They're playing goats. Go. Go.
Double kill. KSM with the double falls.
Nice, nice, boss.
Let's go, boys. Shanghai, 20 seconds left on the clock, but now they're right on the doorstep. Staying in the back line. Oh, the sleep! Kareem! Cancels out the EMP.
How to win a fight with a single sleep dart.
Let's go, bro.
That's sleep, dude. Nice sleep, Crib.
There's the green box.
Gamsu's here as well. He's gonna be able to roll in and contest.
They snuck Gamsu.
Let's go! Nice sleep!
Hey, next
Nice crew. Nice job, guys. Oh.
Titans haven't dropped a single series in regular season.
Kriv, are you ready to popping off?
I'm always ready.
Look at me in the eye and tell me you're ready to popping off.
Popping off.
We need to understand how these guys are playing. These guys are going to be completely unique to any team we've ever played before. We have nothing to lose. If we make them play into our game, we will smash them. Just relax, have some fun, boys.
Valiant making this competitive.
They have beats, they have EMP, they have grabs. No grab, no grab.
I want to grab first, okay?
We can grab first and then EMP off their beat. Okay. Can we go now?
I'm gonna go.
3, 2, 1.
Coming. Boy.
Break that. 3 point. Nice, boy.
Crash team.
Let's go. Crash team. Let's go.
Calm down.
Is this the end of the Titans streak?
Number behind.
Someone.
Number point.
Okay, first.
Monkey now. Let's go. Let's go.
The Spitfire are on the cusp of being in that playoff contention.
All right, let's go. Thank them. We want to track the Widow and make sure we can get space, okay?
I can boom a hack gesture. I'm ball.
His ball is booty.
Out of the gates.
I'm pulling back left.
Nice shots.
Ooh, first blood.
I'm rotating for right.
Shaq's really getting some work done.
Hold Mercy. Nice. Send it.
Go Sharks.
Let's go.
Go Sharks.
Okay. We can Nano Pharaoh blow up this brick monkey. Bring Nano Pharaoh now.
Oh, no! Pulse bomb connection. Nice move by Prophet to shield bash forward to catch KSF.
Nice. Good job.
Bro, I'm feeding.
Hey, no, you popped off.
London Spitfire. Nothing has gone right for this team today.
Let's break it. Damn!
Nice.
Okay, nice 4-0, guys. Oh. Nice and clean. Where are you going?
Not over here.
It's over. Clean, boys. Good job.
Easy.
The Valiants have emerged as one of the top teams in the Overwatch League in the space of just a couple of weeks. That is honestly astounding for this team to have turned around this way. Some of the stories in this league blow my mind. Fact, stranger than fiction.
Now that was some popping off right there. The Valiant are the 6th seed in our tournament this weekend. Today they'll face a Hangzhou Spark squad that has only lost one of their last 10 regular season matches, and that was the Vancouver. The Valiant and the Spark have played twice, with the Spark winning both matches in 5 maps. How evenly matched are these two teams, Brian?
They are unbelievably evenly matched, to be honest with you. Both times these teams have come face-to-face so far during the regular season, it has gone to map 5s. The first time it happened was Stage 1, Week 1. Again, a map 5 game between them. It feels like eons ago. A different Valiant team at the time, but more recently as well. they have been playing against each other. And this is the match that I am looking forward to the most out of any of the quarterfinals or the quarter games that we've had so far, because it is the closest in terms of how these teams match up. And it's just phenomenal. I was reflecting on it when we were looking at that comms piece just then. When you think of the Valiant as a team, they've always been kind of like labeled as the boring team. And I love it now that we've got this Valiant. They're explosive. They're stylistic. Shaq's popping off all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're heating up. And now they're looking like an absolute freak of nature on the main stage.
It's unbelievable the turnaround this team has had. They're almost kind of back to their old form from last season, but with a totally different identity, like you're saying. Part of that new identity is Shaxx coming into the team and featuring on Sombra. I mean, the guys really factored into their turnaround, and they've got such a great understanding of the meta. You can hear it in that comms piece. They know exactly what ults to use, what ults the enemy team has, how to communicate. They're an incredibly intelligent team. Now, the Spark, though, are one of the best teams in the entire league at being able to shut down Sombras. And it's down to the back line. Now, again, before when I was talking about the San Francisco Shock, I said it's down to Brigitte, it's down to the Lucio. Adora, IDK, their stats, wait for it, go up when they play against Sombras. Wow. They actually do better when they're playing against Sombras than normal. Like, that is unbelievable. That's not normal. That should not happen. I mean, but these guys are just freaks. They're unbelievably good at keeping track of the Sombra, knowing where she is, getting shield bashes, pressuring them out with IDK. The backline of the Spark is the best in the league at the moment, apart from maybe the Titans.
Kind of supports that idea of Adora being the best brig in the league, I feel like.
It's definitely up there. I think Haxel would fight you on it, but I think the two of them are up there.
Now, I mean, if you're going up against a team such as the Spark, you have to play perfect. They are incredibly good to actually punish every slight misstep from their opponents, and that reflects in numbers. Take a look at that. They're currently leading the league when it comes to getting that first pick. They're above average by quite a margin, and then to capitalize on that first pick, they have an insanely high win rate after getting that first elim, and that makes them incredibly dangerous. So overall, if they see an opening, they will go for it. Gusha will be right in there, and as you said, their backline is really well supported. They play really tight. So finding an opening against the Spark is really hard, and giving them ever so slightly some space, they will use it and they will capitalize on it. So this is going to be a really tough match for the Valiant.
Man, Spark, so scary after getting that first pick, I tell you. Well, the Stage 3 playoffs are already off to a wild start with New York losing to Shanghai yesterday. So has this season been a failure so far for the once mighty NYXL? We'll debate that and more in Attack or Defend next on the Watchpoint pre-show.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Oh, it's even between them.
That was a fake.
Mangachu's got a mad health advantage. This is the first time we've seen that.
Right there, and that is game. Mangachu is the Torn Lord. Prostrate at the champion's feet.
Well, that might just be all she wrote, but New York has pulled back quite some bars. Oh my God, what a dart!
Yeah, sick place from Hago. There we go. Sleep dart over the ocean. You're not gonna kill him the normal way, so you gotta drop him in.
Yep. And you don't really need the double sniper after point A anyway. You can still run it, but you don't often do it. Whoa. Yeah. You only need one. You only need one sniper right now, clearly. If you're Atlanta Ray, 3 kills for Baby Bay. All right.
Both going to be going low. Otto uses his own. Stratus is in. He's going to be taken down. Puckle goes down. Stratus comes back with a down fist. And he absolutely pops off. Stratus, the madman. They field him on the starting roster. He comes in clutch.
Especially they swapped off the bar. They could go for the Roadhog.
All right, Supercharger. They're just going in with the Mercy, like the Mercy boost plus the Supercharger. That's a ton of damage, but it doesn't matter if DM finds your head. Luffy down as well. DM finds another one. Eliminates Neptuno as well.
It's time for Attack or Defend, and we'll start with a team that got bounced from the playoffs last night. The NYXL finished Stage 3 undefeated, but lost to the Dragons last night in the quarterfinals. Despite their current playoff title drought dating back to last season, they still have just 4 total losses this year. The point is, New York is still an elite team in the league. Brent, Attack or Defend?
I'm gonna attack that point. I don't think they were ever an elite team, personally.
You don't think they were ever an elite team?
Maybe 2018, but 2019, I don't think it's ever been the case. I think we need to change our definition. We've always talked about the big three teams. We've always talked about Titans, Shock, and New York Excelsior.
Yep.
But I think it should have always just been the top two teams, which is Titans and Shock. New York are in a weaker division, played against weaker opponents,
but
and they've always
NYXL have still
performed badly
those
in
opponents.
playoffs.
NYXL beat the San Francisco Shock in stage 1. They were clearly the second best team. They went into the playoffs, they slumped. They played against the Titans in the recent playoffs. They actually had a really close game there and looked like they could have won. NYXL got their problems, don't get me wrong, but they were still an elite team, and it's only now that they look like they're really slipping.
Your definition of an elite team is very wide, apparently.
No, it was a top three team.
Wide.
We had a top three. They were the
Very
big
wide.
three. They were always the
Very
third, but they
wide.
were
Debate,
still
fellas. All right, next up, Twilight has been amazing on Honor this stage. Check out these impressive ranks during team fights for Vancouver Flex support. And with Anna being so important in stage 3, the point is that Twilight is the stage 3 MVP. Zoe, attack or defend?
I'm gonna attack that. Don't get me wrong. I think he's definitely one of the best players we have in the league. However, he's also playing on a team who has been pretty much winning almost everything.
Thanks
Whereas, no, not thanks to him. It's a team effort, Josh. I'd rather give it to someone like Gushue, honestly.
I think the reason that I think Twilight is so good, apart from using an opportunity to rip into Reinhardt statistics, but no, I think the reason that I love Twilight so much is that he isn't the one that's supported by his team like Gushue is. He's the one that's supporting his team. He's the one that nobody gives resources to and still is able to pull up ridiculous numbers on Ana, on Zen, his ult support.
But you can still make an argument for either player, right?
Sure, Gushue's been excellent, but I don't think he's the defining reason that the Spark will win.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding's a stage 3 MVP in my opinion is what I'm trying to say. Okay, last one. During last weekend's Atlanta homestand, Baby Bay barehanded God's dome and got a handful of head grease. He then appears to wipe that head grease on God's teammate, Mangachu. All of Baby Bay's actions here, Zoe, you want to attack those or defend them?
I know, I got both ways here. I gotta defend the rubbing the head to begin with, because like maybe that's for good luck. I don't judge that one.
Yeah.
The swiping it off of Mangachu's shirt though, that one I struggle with. Not quite sure what happened
I'll
there.
defend it. These days, people are doing all sorts. They're selling bath water. Maybe they're bottling up the sweat. Selling it online. Some pro gamer sweat, trying to earn $30
But he
pop. Who knows?
He rubbed it off someone else's shirt.
I mean, sure, it's a little good luck gift to Mangachu before he got in the
okay,
Maybe that was
that's
afterwards,
nice.
actually.
Maybe that's nice. Yeah.
Something tells me that sweat will be worth something somewhere. The internet loves buying stuff.
No,
Brent will pay for it apparently.
Where is Golden Boy's what face when you need it?
I feel you on that, man. Well, there's no attacking the level of talent that's about to take the stage here in the Blizzard Arena. We are less than 10 minutes away from the Stage 3 quarterfinals resuming. We'll update our playoff brackets and get you ready for the action next on the Watchpoint pre-show presented by State Farm.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
let's check in on our analyst brackets for these Stage 3 playoffs. Zoe's bracket is already busted. With New York getting bopped last night by Shanghai, today she's going with the Shock and the Spark to move on to the semifinals. Bryn was the only one who went 2 for 2 yesterday. That Shanghai pick, though, is very strong. Today, the apparent Oracle Brennan Hook has the Shock beating Seoul and the Los Angeles Valiant taking the Hangzhou Spark. Remember, Bryn is picking the Valiant to go all the way. Sideshow also has the Valiant going all the way, and all three analysts like the Shock over Seoul, but like Zoe, Josh's bracket took a hit with Shanghai beating New York yesterday. Dragon Star DM had a message for Zoe and Sideshow after the match. Check this out.
오버워치 워치포인트 해설진 분들, 뉴욕 리그에서 저희가 브래켓을 처음부터 망쳐버렸는데 이제 다음 예상 밴쿠버까지 저희가 깨우셔서 완전한 그냥 빗나가는 브래켓을 만들어서 죄송합니다.
Whoa.
You know what, DM?
I like that he apologized.
I forgive you.
I believe him. I believe him. But guys, that does it for the Watchpoint pre-show presented by State Farm. Enjoy the matches.